Okay. All right. And while we're in the shapes, like don't even worry about the time. That's what I'm here for. So you just allow yourself to really surrender. So let's find a comfortable seat. Feel the breath, feel the body. If you have an intention for this time, if you have a reason why you came, bring that into your heart and soften it and open up to anything that might be possible or anything that might come up during that time. Let out a sigh of relief, just how good it is to let go. And then maybe bring a hand to your heart space, both hands in prayer. Breathe in and out. Let's inhale. And exhale for Om. Om. Now opening the eyes. We're going to start in a seated position. So maybe bring hands to either side of the hips and bring those feet out in front as wide as is comfortable. If you have blocks or if you have a cushion, actually, I'm going to get a cushion for me. We're going to come into our Dragonfly. And the reason the blocks are kind of nice, they're a cushion, is that as we kind of melt and surrender, you can maybe move that out of the way, starting with the prop that you need. So find those feet wide, adjust those sits bones, and see about tilting the pelvis forward. That's going to allow you to fold. We'll breathe up overhead and let the feet be relaxed. We don't flex the feet in the end, but let the feet relax. And then just exhale to hinge forward, bringing the chest or whatever parts of the body to your bolster. And then we'll allow ourselves to just be. Our yin practice targets the fascia and the soft tissue, which is why we don't flex the feet or flex any part of the body, because that will access muscle. We're working on, not working, that's not the word, but we're opening up to treating the joints and those ligaments. Sometimes it's nice to rest the head, the forehead on a block. And as you rest in these shapes, you might feel the need to kind of adjust the leg, because what happens is that fascia actually lengthens, so the leg feels longer. So you might feel like you need to scooch in a certain way because that leg is getting length. Yeah, and that's nice. You cross those arms in front of the head too. Sometimes you might notice that you kind of suspend the breath, and that's okay. Just let it go. Just opening up to the possibilities of this practice and what it has to offer. As you rest that head on the cushion or the block, you might just notice a bit of softening behind the neck, in the back of the neck, maybe even the back of the throat, the upper back. We're giving one more breath in this shape and gently bringing the head up with control, bringing those shoulders over the hips. Yeah, and in between each shape in Yin Yoga, we do what we call a rebound. So we come onto our backs into Shavasana, and we allow all this energy that we cultivated and that we kind of dammed up and compressed in different areas of the body, we allow it to dissipate and find its new path. So allow yourself to rest into this Shavasana, into this rebound. Maybe just bring an awareness to the breath, and then let out a sigh. Make this a restful shape. And now gently roll it to one side so we come back into seated. And press into that seat. We're going to come into our half saddle. So the bolster that you just had, let's bring it behind you. Sometimes I have it behind me, sometimes I don't need it behind me. So just see what feels best, because where we're headed is that left leg will be long, and then bring that right foot kind of towards the glute or towards the floor beside you. And so there's a bend in that right leg, and lean back on your bolster. The head can come back, or you can have the head up, but just lean, allow yourself to lean, and for a stretch in that right quad. And if you don't feel a stretch like that, then you can come lift back up and bring your feet side by side, and then drop the knees to one side, and then kind of sweep it back. And this is what we call our deer pose, but it also opens the quads, and it just kind of allows for a different stretch. You can move the bolster out from behind you, lower onto the forearms. If you don't quite feel anything in the quad, or come all the way to your back. Yeah, you got it. Okay, great. Thumbs up. That's good. And then let yourself relax as much as you can. The thing about Yin is that we learn kind of quickly, we notice really quickly what our body has to say and kind of how our body's feeling. Especially when we're here for, a suspended period of time versus our vinyasa class. So just meeting this stretch with that gentleness that we invited in before class, and softening around the tension that might be there that we're just allowing to open. Our Yin Yoga practice is this practice of stillness. And I often like to offer it as a practice of silence, a deep inward journey. Just like sometimes Shavasana is the most challenging asana in our vinyasa practice, sometimes the stillness and the quietness is the most challenging aspect of Yin. And just allow it to be whatever it is. A mantra to anchor the mind is always Om. And so now coming into your rebound after this shape. So maybe bringing your knees, your feet to the floor, the knees to the sky, and letting those legs come long. And just feel that release in the leg and the knee, wherever you might have noticed a little contraction, a little effort. Perhaps even noticing the difference in the right leg and the left leg, just that chi that is a little more compressed on the right side. And gently rolling to one side till you come to seated. We're going to offer that on the other side of the body. And sometimes in Yin, a shape that we did on one side might not be the same shape for the other. So really just notice kind of what feels right for you. So that right leg long, bring that left foot behind you. Come into half saddle maybe. You can have the bolster behind you if you need it. Come on the forearms. If you want to come into that deer pose, you can have both feet on the floor and then let the knees come to the right and then kind of draw that left heel towards the left glute and lean back. So whether it's deer or whether it's your half saddle, it's going to target the quad. So find that quad targeted. And a lot of times I'll start with the bolster and then it slowly makes its way up from behind me. Sometimes it doesn't at all. Soften the gaze. And if you let out a sigh, to come into your deer or your saddle, and try to relax the neck. Sometimes it's a lot of effort to be on the elbows, and if that's the case, see if you can bring that chin to the chest, just let the head and a hang behind you. Good. Perhaps noticing the beating of your heart. The stillness of your physical body. Maybe the rate of your respiration. Maybe scan the left leg. Notice where you feel this shape in the body. What part of that left leg? What part of the right leg? Part of the back and the chest. Yeah. Come into that rebound. How did this shape? Both legs are long. Back of the legs on the ground. Yeah. allowing the release of the shape. The breath come and go. So from your rebound, making your way to seated again, we'll bring the feet in front of us. We're going to come into a variation of figure 4. So bringing that left foot to the ground, and then just bring that right foot on top of that the right foot to that left thigh. And then a way to kind of vary this shape is you can kind of walk the hands forward and just lift the seat and scoot as close to that heel as you want. You might notice it more in the back of that right leg. You can stay with the glute further away from the heel, and you think about bringing that leg just to rest. And you can also come to the wall, which it's just a little more passive because you're lying down. The wall is kind of nice, and just bring the sits bones as close to the wall as you want, or you can come to your back. So however you want to do your figure 4, whether the back or seated, just go for it. It's just a different experience. Soften the gaze. Notice if you're actively trying to hold that right leg there, and just see if you can just let it kind of be there. And sometimes it's nice to come onto the back and just let the hands rest on that shin, and just let the gravity and the weight of your hands kind of be there. You'll begin to count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just unwrap, and gently make your way to your back. So you roll on one side and then come to that rebound. Let those legs be long, the arms be light, the body heavy on the floor. And let out a sigh. Feel that breath nourishing every part of your being. And now roll over, coming up out of your rebound. And then coming into figure 4 on the other side. So maybe that left foot is on that right thigh, and you sit up. You can come onto the back, or find that spot It's kind of that arrangement of the heel and the glute, the proximity of those to each other that deepens the stretch here when we're in the seated position. I like to bring my hands kind of far apart from each other behind me, just to relax my shoulders a little if I'm doing the seated position. And then let it aside, allow yourself to drop into this shape. And see if you can relax the face. Just allowing for softness in the areas of the body that can be soft here. Keeping that steady mind. We'll count it down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently loosen the leg, right leg long, and then let that foot come on the inside. Roll down onto your rebound. Let out an exhale when you get there. And then allow this rebound to be effortless. And now for our final shape, we have some options. So draw the knees in, maybe find the big toes with your peace finger. If you want to come into a happy baby, that's going to be more than hamstrings. If you want to target the low back a little more, come into your Apanasana where you hug both knees into the chest. And just have the hands on the shins. This is kind of that ball that we curl up into, but we'll leave the head down, the neck and the head down. So hug the knees into the chest. This is really helpful for digestion. And then also that happy baby. Yep, that's also great for digestion, drawing those knees towards the side body. And just allowing gravity and the weight of the hands on the feet to create the depth of this shape. Close those eyes if they're not closed already, and relax the face, the space between the eyebrows, the space above the eyebrows, and then the temples. Relax the chin and the corners of the mouth. Relax the throat. Relax the space behind the earlobes and the sides of the neck. And feel that low belly relaxed. The torso relaxed, the area around the navel. The side body, the obliques relax. And then feel the shoulders relax and see that those shoulders don't need to be active. Just let the hands be on the feet, just like they were glued there, they were magnets. And then let go and just surrender. And from here, let's count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now gently release the hands from the feet. Do that really carefully. Yeah. Maybe let those heels kind of gently drift towards the backs of the legs and come into your final rebound. Letting those legs be long. Letting those hip flexors that we just compressed, letting that chi that's built up in those areas, let that flow. The backs of the legs, the fronts of the legs, the entire body getting rejuvenated by this chi. And give yourself one more breath. Just imagine in that breath, carry the message from your soul of what you need today. And then as you exhale, that message just floats and is sent to every cell in your body. And then as you're ready, you can come to a seated position. And we can close class together, and there's no rush. Let's draw a breath in. Let it go. And in again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namasthe.